same what? No, it's different each time. I don't know. I mean, that's the link that he gives me. It should be a different one each time. It should be. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Reddit is strange. Okay, that's all you need to know. Reddit is not normal. Right, I'm actually streaming, so my audio I think is going out. So the audio's going out, not the video, the audio. No, I must remember that this week. No, but when I become monetised, if I become monetised, eventually advertisers are not going to want to advertise with somebody that's swearing, are they? Think about it. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another the Woody's Place. With this week three old farts talking absolute rubbish as we do. As we do. Um, Once again, I've had problems getting online. I've just had to. I don't know why I'm using Restream, and I've had to reset all my passwords. And I know that Tracy's had a lot of problems tonight with her video, getting her camera to work, but I've done it all. I've already got a question already, blimey. Um, DJ Palsy P says, "Do you do your own graphics?" Yes, I do. DJ Palsy P on YouTube. Do you do your own graphics? Yes, everything on this channel I've done. The opening titles, the Woody screen starting soon, and those graphics. I didn't. I've got to be honest and say I didn't do those in DaVinci Resolve. Um, I did the title, the actual pirate Woody stream starting soon, an explosion. I did that in After Effects, and then I put it together with the background in Premiere. But I didn't use DaVinci for any of that. I I use Adobe products and DaVinci products. A lot of people either use one or t'other. I use both because they've both got their strengths and they've both got their weaknesses. But for this broadcast, everything that has been done on this broadcast has been done in Adobe Premiere or Adobe After Effects, only because I'm more experienced with, I've got something like 12 years experience with After Effects. So I can do things a lot quicker and a lot better in After Effects than I can in DaVinci Resolve. Um, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is more than capable of doing a lot of these things, but it's a lot slower because I'm not as experienced with DaVinci Resolve. I can do these titles, and I'm at the moment producing a set of tutorials on how to use DaVinci, but because of my illness, it's a bit. I'm a bit slow doing them. Anyway, I've got a lot to get through tonight, and I think the first thing we can do is I think we can welcome Mickey if you're there. So let's bring Mickey in. Can you all see Mickey?
Good evening, people. I'm here again, much to your disappointment, I know.
Yep. Carry on talking, Mickey, because I need to. Your audio's not working. Right, there it is. They should be able to hear you now. Try that again, Mickey.
I said good evening, folks. You got to put up with me again this evening. And a lovely Tracy.
That's Mickey working. I hopefully your audio's working. I'm sure if it wasn't, somebody would say so. Bovine Spongy Form, BSA. Good evening, Andrew. Let's bring Tracy in now. See if Tracy's there. I believe she is. So let's bring her in. Right, there we go. No, it's not. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Tracy's there. So say hello to the people.
Hello.
Right, so that's got all three of us working. Right, so Mickey, what have you been up to this week?
Well, a bit of a heavy weekend, really. As you know, I had family come down the weekend. Saturday night I was out. Went to a Turkish restaurant, had a fantastic meal in a Turkish restaurant. And then we, I think I'm a bit old for it, but we went clubbing.
Ouch.
I woke up Sunday not feeling very well when I was informed that we were going out for a carvery. Now, I expected there to be half a dozen, maybe 10. When I turned up, 25 people had turned out for a retirement lunch for me.
Oh.
You've got 25 friends?
No, family, mate.
Okay, I was about to say.
There's a slight difference there, yeah. But yeah, some people I hadn't seen for like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I had a really good weekend. In fact, I'm still tired today, but yeah, it was a good weekend all in all.
Okay.
Oh, that's...
Tracy, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, well, I decided to go on a little quest to see if I could find if any of my extras and acting work was on the internet, and to my absolute surprise, it was. So I had a lovely evening sort of rewatching and revisiting all the stuff. all the stuff actually that I thought at the time I was really crap, but watching it now, it was like, oh, it wasn't that bad really, and that was good fun. So if anyone wants to watch one of them, it's on. I popped it on my link tree, which is below there, and it's the very, very top one. And warning, it's a sort of comedy horror. So if you don't like gory stuff, don't watch the second half.
Okay.
I thought it was hilarious. To be fair.
Yeah. I watched it earlier and thought it was hilarious as well. DJ Palsy P, are you still there on Twitch? If you are, is it? Let's just go back over the questioning. Is there anything? I mean, I am thinking about doing some masterclasses with DaVinci live on a stream, showing people how I do things on a stream. But just out of curiosity, DJ Palsy Pete, is there anything in particular you want to do on DaVinci? I'm working on 2 tutorials at the moment. One of them is very complicated, and it's only if you've got a 360-degree camera. It's keyframing 360-degree reframes, which is very, very advanced. The other one I'm working on is the other tutorial I'm working on, which I started recording tonight, is titles, how to make basic titles, opening titles, end titles, and titles on your thing to go on your go on any videos recorded. Nothing as complicated as the start there, because that does involve really diving into Fusion. But I'm doing those. That's what I'm working on at the moment. So that tutorial, I hope I will release Friday or Saturday this week. Because I've already gone through one. I'm going through the basics. I've done basic. The first one I did was basic editing. How to cut, split a movie, trim it down. Now I'm showing people how to add titles. So I've got a whole range in my head that I want to do. I'm going to add titles. That's going to be the next one. The third one will be voiceover and adding audio, replacing audio and adding audio to things. So in other words, if you follow it along, by the end of it, you should be able to make a basic movie with titles, music, and everything else. You'd like to do your own OBS stingers. You can do OBS stingers in it. I mean, yeah, it is very advanced. You can do basic stingers. I mean, I can do some very basic stingers in it. That's not a major problem. But for things like my opening stingers and my closing stingers, you really need to understand Fusion, and it gets really, really very advanced. And it's even I struggle sometimes with doing it, which is why I prefer for the very advanced stuff to use After Effects. You can do some basic stingers. I mean, is there anything you had in mind as a stinger? Anything you'd like? Just out of curiosity, because I might be able to knock you something up. Sorry, Mickey and Tracey. I know this is probably going whoosh.
Carry on. I'm listening. I'm absorbing it all.
All right. I could probably knock you.
Going in one ear and out the other fucking one.
I could probably knock you something up, DJ Paulsy, but if you give me an idea of what you want. While you're doing that, let's just go to my usual beer de jour. So where's my stinger? Yeah, my beer de jour. This is the sort of thing you want, and it's stingers like this. Beer de jour. There we go. Look, that's the sort of thing you want, isn't it? Beer de jour. Right, my beer de jour today is Dynamo from the Want Some Brewery. Now, which is a light golden ale with a 4.3% ABV. And if I remove the top, you can see, look, it's got a Union flag on it, which means it's a British beer. Why this particular beer? Well, yesterday I went out to, I'm a member of English Heritage. Now, English Heritage, for those that don't understand, is an organisation in this country which purchases and maintains old buildings of historical significance, like castles and old houses. Well, I went out to Walmer Castle yesterday, and one of the things I like about English Heritage is in their shop, there's a lot of crap in their shop, but one of the things they do in their shops is they tend to focus on local produce. So whenever I go to an English heritage property, there is always some local produce there, like locally produced honey or locally produced chutney, things like that. But in this case, they had some locally produced beer. They want some brewery from Walmer. And I thought, I'll get a couple of these to do my beer du jour. So I'm just going to have a sip now and let you know what it's like.
I like the cap. Did you say the Union flag? I like that.
Yeah, if I show you my other bottle, look, you can see it on there, look.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah.
And did you notice I called it the Union flag? Why didn't I call it the Union Jack?
Because it's
Mickey?
Because the Jack is the pole that the Union flag flies from. It's on the back of the ship normally. Oh, sorry, on the bow of the ship, actually.
Correct. Tracy, do you concur with that?
I was actually going to say that the Union Jack. I thought that the Union Jack was the flag that was flown. So no, I was close because I know that it's not
very close. Yeah, very close.
I know it's not a Union Jack when it's not a flag.
It's a Union Jack, basically.
It's a Union flag.
It's a Union Jack when it's on a ship.
Staff that it's on.
Yeah.
But the Jack, I think it's called a Jack Sprite, isn't it, Mickey? The whole thing, Jack Sprite.
I can't remember, to be fair. But it's a Jack staff, basically.
Yeah, it's
a pole. The flag pole. You put your flag on, but it's only a very short one. Yeah. A bit like me. A bit like Steve.
Yeah.
Sort of
yeah, I knew. I just knew that it was, and for ages, forever, I was calling it the Union Jack when it was the flag and stuff like that. And
us ex-forces people get a bit pissed off when people call it the Union Jack when it's not. No. It's the Union flag. It's only the Navy that have a Jack staff.
Indeed.
Which is normally on the prow of their boat, ship, whatever you like.
On Reddit there, we've got a guy called Matt Vin Dash that says, "What is restart? What did I restart? Everybody call me restarted. I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese, so I've got no idea what you're talking about."
Could be the start of a rap in his own head.
Yeah, obviously.
Do you think he's put an extra S in there or something?
I don't know. I think he's maybe watching a different stream.
Misspelt it. I mean, I don't know.
No. Anyway, DJ Paulsy P, if there's something you particularly were thinking of, let me know, and I might be able to. It'd probably be easier for me to knock it up. Something like my name in the middle with a diagonal door shutter effect that closes and opens. I'm not really good at explaining stuff. That sounds more like a transition than a. You said stinger. Do you know what a transition is? A transition is when you switch between two different scenes. I don't particularly use them here. I can use them. I've got transitions. There we go. Look, see.
Oh, I do like a fade to black.
Yeah, I can do a fade to black.
I like a fade to black, and I like a fade through blur. If
yeah,
that makes sense. Blurs and then moves.
Fade to grey. That was a better song.
Oh, yeah. I love that song. Yeah.
I can do some basic transitions like barn door transitions. Sliding transitions. Is that what you mean? Are you talking about transitions or stingers? This is a stinger. Let me. I've got other stingers. You haven't done it. That I haven't done it. So let's just do a stinger that I don't normally put up. Right, do that. This is a stinger, right? That's a stinger. Is that what you mean? or this, which is a transition. So I'm just fading to black. Let me just bring that back again. That's a transition, which I can change to be anything I want, but I don't really use transitions. Oops, let's turn that off. This is an opener. This is called an opener. Let's put it up. That's called an opener. And this is an outro. Right, that's an outro, which I do as my outro. So it depends what it is that you mean. Right, let's go through my list. Oops, we've got the goodbye screen going. We don't want that. Right, I'm a member of, because motion graphics, they're called MOGAs, MOG, TRS, motion graphic templates. And I'm a member on Facebook and Reddit. I'm a member of YouTube and Twitch groups, especially on Facebook, which are populated with thousands and thousands of scammers who try to say things like, "Oh, inbox me and we can collaborate, and I'll give you thousands of viewers." Or what you're actually doing is you're actually buying bots from them that actually put your viewing figures up, but really screw with your sub figures. You get lots of what I call empty calorie subs, which are subs that don't actually watch the videos. So that's what you don't want. You want people to actually watch your videos. And a lot of them are scammers. You end up paying them money and they won't do anything. Well, I come across a guy a couple of days back who was advertising a service that I'd not seen before, which was he was going to put subtitles on everybody's videos. So if you want subtitles, you can do it. I mean, YouTube generates subtitles automatically, or you can put subtitles in. So this guy thought he'd be offering this service for subtitles, and he was really proud. He really did the big build up for it. Just bear with me. I'm trying to find it now. I bet he's deleted it, the bastard. Basically, right, he was obviously not an English speaker. He's deleted it. He's finally worked out what I was trying to say. He's actually deleted it. So he's advertising saying he'll do subtitles, right, in the most pidgin English I've ever come across. And I said to him, I said, look, you know, I saw his post and I said, honestly, nobody.
I just need to mute my mic a minute, Steve.
Yeah, go for it.
Got a phone call.
Okay, go for it. And I said to him, I said, look, nobody is going to buy subtitles of you, a subtitle service of you, because you can barely string a legible sentence together in English. And his answer to come back to me was, he said, oh yeah, I did that deliberately. And I said, what, you deliberately spoke in pidgin English? He said, yeah, because if you look, I'm using search engine optimization, SEO, to put the keywords in. I looked at it and I said, you're talking utter crap.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't have it that nobody was going to buy this subtitle service off of him because he couldn't speak English. And I just thought it was quite amazing that everybody out there thinks that automatically that if they offer a service to somebody like a streamer or somebody on YouTube that wants to get monetized, they're going to fall over themselves to buy it. Have you noticed this, Tracy?
Yeah. You mean the bots who contact you? Not bots, you know what I mean. Rewind. Sorry, I got distracted by my phone lighting up.
Bots. Robot accounts.
Oh yes, yes. Sorry, yes. So yeah. Right, so the problem is with that's what I wanted to say. The problem with that, which is what you were saying, it's actually better for growth to be organic, because if you buy the stuff that these bots or whatever are saying that they're going to do for you, what you end up with is loads more bots, and it's not an organic growth. If you suddenly went from 1,000 hopefully 1,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers, the algorithm on the sites that you're on will just go, well, that's an amazing amount of bots that he's collected. We'll push him back down to as though he's only got 1,000 subscribers. So it messes up. You've paid money for no reason apart from it's like junk mail, and you've paid loads of money to get more junk mail. So yes, and it's the I can get you lots more followers. I'm on Twitter and I get stuff like that. I can get you thousands of followers. How many followers have you? That's one thing that you can all instantly tell that it's a bot. How many followers do you have on Twitter? Well, have a look. Yeah. So it's just a load of rubbish. I play with them and say, have you got good teeth and stuff like that, just until they bugger off.
Well, I can say it's empty calories, because what you do is you buy 1,000 subs, but they're not actually watching. They're just making up the subs number. They're not actually watching.
Like I said, a lot of them are more bots. So it's not actually organic. They're not going to watch the stuff because obviously they're just computer programs
Yeah.
there to make the numbers up and to push their product or their service further.
Exactly. Just a waste of time. So, but these guys, if you look in any of these Facebook groups, they're absolutely amazing. You know, they try and flog you everything under the sun. And you ask them a simple question, say, "Oh, have you got to?" "Oh, hello, Shamsley on Twitch." There, you say, "Well, have you got a portfolio?" "What?" "Well, can you tell me somebody you've done some work for?" I've done work for loads of people." "Well, can you give me an example?"
Here's a hastily knocked up Wix site that I did in the last 5 minutes and showed you absolutely bugger.
You know, and what's worse than that is every time I post in one of these groups, I get about 20 message requests, and I've got to the point now where I'm so fed up with it that I don't even bother. I just report them straight to Facebook for spam. It's absolutely ridiculous. And what is more annoying is none of them have got what I would call an English-sounding name. That's probably a bit racist. It's not meant to be, but you don't get any John Smiths doing it. And it's just so annoying that these things happen. It's just that.
Sorry about
that. Right, Mickey. It was just that DJ Paulsy P on Twitch there reminded me of this particular thing. Do you have any idea what we're talking about, Mickey?
I haven't been listening because I've been on the phone, mate.
Oh, okay, all right. We were just saying what an arsehole you were.
Well, you're absolutely... I can't disagree with that. How can I disagree with that?
At least he's organic, though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Right. We reached, in the UK, now we're going to get controversial now, so we'll go to Tracey first this time. In the UK, we reached a milestone on Saturday. Did you know that, Tracey?
No. I was trying to think of what was in the news. No.
Right. On Saturday, 18,000 people so far this year have crossed the channel.
Bloody hell. Obviously, you mean, inverted commas, illegally.
Illegally, correct. Yeah, you can't. It's not actually illegal to cross the channel.
No, that's why I did that. Daily Mail speak illegally. Yeah.
Yeah. Illegal immigrants, 18,000 across the channel, and I was down at, as I said at the start, I was down at Walmer, which, as you know, is one of the Cinque ports, and the coast that faces France. And I was looking at the ocean, and I was looking at it, and I thought, you know, there is absolutely no way. I know it's only about 26 miles, but there's absolutely no way that I'm going to risk it in an inflatable, rigid boat. That is dangerous sea. But these people risk it. Unbelievable. 18,000 so far this year have made the journey across the channel. It's absolutely frightening. It's frightening on two levels. It's frightening that something is going wrong when we can't keep them out of the country. But what's more frightening is how desperate do you have to be to make that crossing to start with?
I agree, but I've also heard some stats in the last few days that a lot of them are now coming from Albania, which isn't a war-torn country. So, but again, I don't know how many numbers they are and things like this. But yeah, no, I agree that generally how desperate you must be. And a lot of people say, yes, but it's all men. It's all men. And they don't look at the women and the children that are actually in the boats, and then when you point that out, they say, no, but it's mostly men. It's mostly men. And of course, what happens is that the family saved to send, as far as I know, the family saves to pay these people traffickers to put their strongest person abroad. They get a job and then bring over the family when they can. That's the very basic, rudimentary knowledge that I have of it. And the problem is not the people coming over, it's the people traffickers. It's the ones that get paid thousands of pounds per person, and then they get sent off. You know, that they send however many hundred people on a boat that's like cost a fiver. It's just ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Mickey, I'll ask your opinion on that in a second. I'm just going to say to Lester is very cool there on Reddit. He just come up and said old people, and then he gave us an award. So I've just done a special thing for him on Reddit, which if you're watching Reddit, you'll see. And DJ Paulsy P, if you're watching, you'd see me doing another one of my moguts. So I've just done something very special to thank him. So thank you, Lester. It's very cool. Mickey, your opinion on the Channel Crossing?
Well, you got to be some sort of desperate person to do it. That's what I think. But let's get right back to the basis. I think that we should have an immigration centre or something on the other side that they can go to be sorted. And those with a legitimate claim, then
I think we have,
fetch
Mickey.
them over here. Sorry?
I think we have.
Yeah, well, obviously it's not doing its job, is it? And as for I think they need. I mean, I think a lot of it is the French can't be bothered because they're out of their hair, to be quite honest. But if they crack down on the actual traffickers and not the people that are actually trying to get here, I think that will make a very big difference to the numbers. Very big difference. I can't understand, or perhaps I'm naive, I don't know, but why would you travel thousands of miles to come to this little island when you've travelled through lots and lots of safe countries to get here?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Unless it's just the language.
Yeah, no, well, one, it's probably the English language is taught quite universally, but also, again, it's the people traffickers who will be saying, give us lots of money, and you can go to this wonderful country that's got this, and this. You'll have cars and houses and everything. You know, they sell the dream to the people to get money.
I'm sure they really believe that the streets are paved with bloody gold. I really do, because that's the spin that they're given. And it's not all that when you get here. It's not all that. And people who say that they're here, they're given houses, they're given this, they're given that. No, they're not. They're not. They're given a very minimum of things. They're not given cars and houses and God knows what. No. If you see some of the reception centres that are in, which are ex-army barracks, they're absolutely appalling.
And I was going to say they get housed in, well, I think one of them, was that big Scarborough Hotel. Now, and people say, oh, it got trashed. And TripAdvisor reflected that it got trashed because there was like whole big families living in like one room. But that doesn't, to me, sound like getting everything. You're in a hotel and you're being fed, but it's not freedom. It's not the freedom that they probably were sold, the dream of. You fight your way over on boat or asylum claim or whatever, and then you get stuck in a hotel with 1,000 other families. It sounds like hell to me.
I can't understand either why, before they get midway across the channel, the French aren't turning them back. But I think, as I said before, it's because they don't want the responsibility of it. Once they cross into our waters, they can wash their hands of it.
Yeah,
and I think they're very glad to do so.
I've heard of instances where, and again, obviously I'm getting my stuff from the internet and media and that, but I've heard instances where the French
Coast Guards
are basically chaperoning them halfway to our waters. And once they're in our waters, we have to deal with them. Thankfully, we've got an amazing lifeboat RNLI system, and
Coast Guard,
who are non-judgmental. They save lives, whoever they are. So I just want to say, Reddit, we're aware that you're asking lots of questions, but we're right in the middle of having this debate at the moment, so we'll pick you up in a minute. And it's gone quiet.
No. Sorry. I was just.
We've got anabolic chorizo. Does anyone know what pegging is? Well, my missus does it every time she hangs the fucking washing.
And I'm taking lessons from Prince Andrew.
And I've got a vision now of Mickey enjoying his wife sorting out the washing.
So what you're saying, Mickey, is your wife does pegging.
She does.
You're right.
So your eyes,
on the line, out in the back garden.
Mickey. So your eyes light up. Mickey,
Sorry, Mickey, did you just say your wife does the pegging round the back?
Yeah. Yeah, outside round the back.
Yeah, outside round the back. Right, okay.
So when Mickey's wife says, "Oh, darling, it's washing day," his eyes light up.
Yeah.
What they do, you're absolutely true.
When she says I'm going to get the washing out and do some pegging, do you like bend over and drop your trousers and grab your ankles?
Well, it comes back. It comes to that cucumber
and KY. Yeah.
He goes and gets the ball gag.
Yeah. Oh. So that was another news story. That was another news story this week that Prince Andrew apparently enjoys being the wicket keeper.
Does he?
Yeah. He likes being pegged. He likes being pegged.
Anyway, away from that, the next, are you guys in England?
From England.
We are.
But I suppose it's the same thing.
Well, what did you forget, Mickey?
What? That I'm in England?
No. Who asked what platform?
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. Big Challenge 3043, who is over on Reddit, would like to know, are you guys from England? Yes.
Yes.
Next question. How old are you all? Says the same person on the same platform asks, how old are you?
Oh, that's cheating, Mickey.
Sorry,
like saying ditto.
I'll take this one. Big Challenge 3043 on Reddit says, how old are you all? So, Steve, Mickey?
I'm 62.
I'm 66.
And I'm 50.
And the lady doesn't tell her.
No, I'm 50. I don't mind.
And then again, Big Challenge 3043 on Reddit says, "Are you all look alike? Oh, sorry, you all look like siblings, are you?" No.
Wow.
In fact, the truth of the matter is, I've not met either of these two people. Never. They've met each other, but I've not met either of them.
Yeah.
Just to look at their right. I think we've covered the question. I want to come back to the immigration thing. Bovine Spongiform on Twitch says his thoughts and words on these illegals coming over aren't suitable for this stream. Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, a lot of people. I've got to be honest and say, a lot of people assume that the people who voted for Brexit, and I'll be honest, I did vote for Brexit.
Yeah.
So did I.
Voted on the immigration issue. In other words, they thought we all voted thinking that we'd get control of our borders. That's not why I voted on Brexit at all. I voted on Brexit to be because I could see if we remained in the European Union, we would actually become part of the United States of Europe. I can see, and it's still going to happen. I can see the European Union becoming a European superstate, and I don't want to be part of that. I like being this little island, this little independent island. I mean, I
think.
Go on.
Go on, carry on, Steve. Sorry.
I was just about to say, I'm absolutely amazed at France. But there's, as far as I'm concerned, there's one of the things that defines a nation is their currency. The Americans are defined by the dollar. The Japanese are defined by the yen. The British are defined by the pound. The French have always been defined by the franc. I'm actually amazed that the French gave up the use of the franc. That really surprised me when I heard about that. It's like Spain always used to be the peso, and Italy always used to be the lira. And they gave away, to me, that's giving away part of your national identity. When you choose to give up your national currency, you're actually giving away part of your identity. So I could see us becoming part of the United States of Europe. And as Mickey said earlier, another misconception about these immigrants is that is that they come over here and they're given houses, they're given jobs, they're given loads of money. Apparently, they're not even allowed to claim benefits. We house them in reception centres and hotels, and we feed them, but only the bare minimum that we're required to do.
And I think they're given allowance of something like £30 per person per week.
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only minimal.
It's minimal.
For,
I do.
For things like women's things and toiletries.
Yeah, and I
do
that. Believe that some get mobile phones. It won't be like the latest iPhone, but mobile phones are the thing for people to be able to be contacted on and stuff like that. And if they are looking for work or whatever, then how are people going to get in touch with you? You know, stuff like that. So, but again, the only one that I do know is that they get a fed and a monetary allowance.
Good evening, Happy Smile Seeker. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you for a couple of days there. So I haven't seen you, so just thought I'd say hello to you there.
It does. Sorry, DJ Paulsy P on YouTube says it, but it does add up. It might be £30, but yeah. But then you've got to think about how much women's sanitary towels cost, and just
nappies for children.
Yeah, exactly.
Like absolutely expensive, So
exactly,
it is minimal amount.
Good evening, Complex Cat, by the way.
The problem.
Carry on, guys.
Sorry.
Carry on, guys.
The problem would be because people have said, well, why can't they just be given the allowance on a card and so they haven't got cash to spend on booze and fags and things. But the problem with that is that if the government could work out a way where people on benefits didn't have any cash to spend and only had a card, they would bloody do it. And it wouldn't just be for illegal immigrants, asylum seekers, it would be for anybody on any benefit. And you can be sure that you wouldn't be allowed to spend, too many chocolates. You're on benefits, you're eating too many chocolates. All right, we'll cut that down. You should be on fruit and veg. That kind of... So it's a slippery slope. You've got to be really careful what you wish for.
Tracey, have you seen what Big Challenge 3043 has just said on Reddit? He thinks I've got wood in you.
Where are we looking?
On Reddit?
Yeah.
From the bottom?
From the bottom? They
assume you're siblings because you both got wood in you.
Oh, do you know what? I haven't scrolled it.
Can you switch me off a minute, Steve, please?
Certainly, Mickey. Think of Kim Kardashian.
I tell you what, Big Challenge 3043 on Reddit. I would say that me and Steve are the ones with wood in our names, and judging by the earlier conversation, it's Mickey with the wood in him.
Yeah.
Now you're telling us the details. Don't use Vicks.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, but I've not got wood in Tracey. That's just a vicious rumour. Besides, her husband is watching.
Now that sounds even more interesting. I haven't got wood in Tracey, but her husband's watching, so voyeur.
Tracey, Happy Smile Seeker on Reddit has just asked a question there.
Happy Smile Seeker on Reddit says, are the three of you friends in real life or did you meet online? We met online. We all met on eBay in various different places, and I have met Steve. Steve has obviously met me, but none of us have met Mickey yet.
In fact, I went to Tracey. Tracey's husband's called Andrew. I went to the wedding reception back in 2008. Was it, Tracey?
Yeah, that's right. 2008.
I actually went to Tracey and Andrew's wedding reception. Andrew doesn't say much, but he is here. I know he's here because he was on Twitch earlier on. So I've met Tracey. 3 times now. Once, yeah, he's a lurker. Once at her wedding reception, and twice in a hotel in London.
Yeah. So
yeah.
each time has been in a hotel.
Yeah. The Strand Palace Hotel, to be precise. Yeah.
Mickey remembers the details. Have you got Mickey's audio on? Because if you haven't, I think Mickey's disembodied voice.
Yeah, no, I've got Mickey's audio on.
That's good, because I really like it when I've watched the back streams and the audio hasn't been switched off, and it's hilarious just hearing Mickey chipping and us talking to the ghost.
Yeah, I think Mickey is catfishing us, because I don't believe Mickey's 66. I think he's 96.
I'm just going to run down Reddit, because that's what I was looking to see. Anabolic Chorizo on Reddit says, would you guys want your consciousness uploaded to the Apple Cloud?
What?
Would you want your conscious, your thoughts and everything uploaded to a cloud? Would you want it, if we were able, would we want it? I think I would as well.
Thank you for following me, Complex Cat. Yeah. I can't actually find the question that you're referring to, Tracy, but that's because I'm drinking alcohol.
Yeah, no,
I thought you said to the Apple Cloud, which is why I went, what?
Yeah, it does say Apple Cloud. I said
right.
Apple first, yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't piss on anything Apple if it was on fire. I do not own a single Apple product. There is not a single Apple product in this house. And there will never ever be a single Apple. There will never ever be any Apple product. I will never own an Apple product. There will never be an Apple product in this house. Yeah. Very good reason for that, because, and it's completely childish of me, but back in the 1990s, I was earning an absolute fortune as a printer. And then along came the Apple Mac computer and a program called Quark Express. And this program and the Apple Mac computer virtually overnight decimated the printing industry. And it completely did away with all the trades that I'd spent a long time, I'd spent 6 years training for, and completely did away with all my trades, which meant that, thank you, Phantom Gemini, for following me on Reddit there. Meant that a spotty little 16-year-old YTS trainee could do a job that I'd trained for 6 years. And because of that, I refuse to have anything to do with Apple. I will not buy an iPhone. I will not buy an iPad. I will not have anything to do with Apple. So if my consciousness was uploaded to an Apple Cloud, no, not at all. Not at all. So that's just me perfectly. Okay, Mickey, I shall bring you back. That was that's just my personal thing. It's completely childish and completely irrational, but that is my stand against Grapple. Yeah, BSC, you know exactly what Quark did. It actually decimated the industry. I got over it and I went on and did other things, but I swore at that time that I would have nothing to do with Apple, and I won't. I will have nothing to do with Apple at all. Besides, their computers are like last century's technology. I really don't understand why people buy computers that have got last century's technology in them. I really, really don't. Right. Complex Cat says, do you have pets? No, I personally don't have pets. I used to have pets. I've had cats and dogs. My last pet died in 2018, which is a cat. And we decided that when the cat went, that we'd spend a few years being cat-free, because I've had pets all my adult life. My last 2 dogs were a German Shepherd and a Border Collie. And they both went, well, one went in 2012, and the other one went 6 months later with a broken heart, because they'd grown up together. I love my dogs, and they've both given me 12 and 13 years of happiness. And when I had to let them go, it broke my heart. So I decided then that I couldn't put myself through that again. So that's me. So at the moment, I am pet free. However, I don't make a big thing about it, but I'm almost completely deaf. That's cancer for you. It robs me of so many things. And normally, except when I'm streaming, I wear these, which are hearing aids. And I'm going through the process at the moment. There's a point coming. I'm going through the process at the moment of getting a service dog. Like you get blind dogs for blind people. You'd also get hearing dogs for deaf people. And I'm going through the process of getting a hearing dog. So that's a long process. It takes about 5 years, and I'm about a year in. So they haven't yet assigned me a dog, but that will be happening sometime this year. Pardon me. Because of my deafness, and it's an accredited dog, so I'm allowed to take them on trains, planes, buses, and restaurants and everything else. So that will be my next pet. So that's why we're not having any more pets at the moment. Tracey, don't you?
I don't have any pets at the moment, and I did have 2 cats for about 10 or so years, but the second one of those died in 2020, December 2020. So I decided that will be it for a little while. Because although they were cats and they looked after themselves, they still obviously needed litter tray changing and time playing and be looked after if you went out or away or anything. So it's been quite nice just not having to clean up cat shit. But I miss them. I do miss them.
Mickey, I know you've got a dog, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a little 9-year-old Jack Russell crossed with Westie Little Terrier. She's 9 years old. Great thing. But again, I think when she does pass, I'll probably not have another one. I mean, she's such a gorgeous little thing. I've just had her in the vets for, she got a grass seed stuck between her toes, which caused an abscess. Cost me a few quid, but obviously they're worth it. Yeah. But yeah, she's a great little dog. But yeah, we seem to have lost Reddit by the looks of things.
Reddit going on?
It looks like
It says tuning. It says.
Oh, excuse me. No.
For fuck's sake, Reddit. Reddit has been a load of shit just lately since they've changed it. So, right. Let's right. You two. DJ Palsy P on YouTube while I reconnect Reddit. Go on, carry on.
DJ Palsy, Bovine Spongiform says, "Can you get talking dogs?" And DJ Palsy P has replied, "I dated one." So, and
he also has 3 cats.
Yeah,
she. I don't know whether it's he or she. DJ.
Oh.
Or one of the other 20 different things that we seem to have these days.
And then Bovine Spongiform Andrew said, "I had to see our Mogsy put down, not nice, upsetting." And yes, I was there for Bobby, the other one, and Mogsy was always closer to Andrew. So I said, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, so you could only have one person in there. And I said, I think it would be best if he was there at that time. And it's not nice. It's never ever nice putting an animal down. These were the first. Bobby was my cat was the first one that I'd ever actually seen be put to sleep, and it was horrible. But I knew that I'd done the right thing because when they did a scout, he stopped eating and he was very anemic, and then he had tumours on his, just came up overnight on his gums, and he had a full scan and then X-ray, and they found that he had tumours on his liver, his lungs, all internal. And they said, even steroids and things, he was probably in a lot of pain. And even with steroids and medication, they couldn't guarantee another couple of weeks. And I couldn't do it. I don't know how people can take their cat home and just let them die in pain at home. And then when it came to Mogsy, it was a very similar thing. And I just went, I can't do that. it was an easy decision to make at the time. I didn't struggle with my conscience or anything. I just knew. So,
I mean, when it's Millie's time, I'm certainly going to be there. I saw an article from a vet, and they say they take them in there, and a lot of owners won't go in, and the poor animal, whether it be dog, cat, is wondering what the hell is going on.
Had to be.
And the last thing that they'd like, is to see that their owner, or I'm not the owner, she owns me more like, but be with them in those last few moments, so that there's somebody. I mean, they've given you, I don't know how many years of love and what have you.
I tell you what, sorry, you saying that, there's the saying, it's an animal, a pet is only with you for part of your life, but to that pet, you are their whole life.
Your whole life, exactly that, and so why would you be there at the end of it? I'm determined that I'm going to be there at the end of it. Well, if she doesn't outlast me, that is.
I mean, because it is upsetting and it is horrible to see, but it's a much calmer way to see them go than them limping around, perhaps losing the use of their legs and their faculties, going blind or walking into things and stuff. It's just a calm. They just go to sleep literally. There's no.
Yeah.
And I got the.
But at least they go to sleep. They know you're there. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. They don't take themselves off into.
I've got to say, right. By the way, this is leading us nicely on to Archie Battersby, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Oh my God.
But I've got to say that when I had my my cat, the one that died, we actually found him in the garden dead. He curled up and gone to sleep and died in the night, so we found him already dead. But my two dogs, I had them put down. I've got to admit I was a coward because I wasn't there for their final moments. There is a reason for that, and it's the same reason that all the people around me that have died, like that I've loved, like my first mother-in-law, I absolutely loved her, a lovely woman. When she died, I refused to see her body. Same with my father-in-law. When he died, I refused to see his body. When my mother died, I refused to see her body. When my grandmother died, I refused to see her body. When I had my two dogs put down, one after the other, I refused to be in the room when they were dying and being put down. Now, that may seem like I'm very callous, but it's not. It's very simple. It's all of those people and all of those animals, I do not want my last memory of them to be dead.
I can understand that.
I've got memories of all of my animals and all the people I love still alive, and I like those memories. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yeah. But I mean, I'm trying to look at it from Millie's view.
Yeah.
To be alone in a stranger with.
Sean was with the dogs.
So.
Oh well, that's good. Cause I mean, you saying about people who had died and you hadn't been with them, you didn't see the body. The two closest people to me who died were my parents. My mum was in a hospice in Dorset, so I couldn't just nip down there every day. And
can I just say that we're back on Reddit, Tracy, and I've looked at the URL and it is slightly different. We are now back on Reddit.
Okay, thank you. And I can see that there's a comment for me, which I'll answer in a minute. Yeah, I wasn't there for either of my parents. My mum was in Dorset. I couldn't just nip down there. She was in a hospice in Dorset, and she died alone. She probably would have liked that, though, knowing my mother. But the way that she was in the hospital, she covered it up how ill she was, and then she ended up in hospital, and I went to see her. And she looked like, she was only 69, she looked like a 100-year-old head on the pillow. She was white, her eyes were milky, it was just awful. And they're my last memories of my mum. And I didn't want to see her body afterwards because I was so traumatised. And my dad, he died in a care home in East Sussex. He had people with him, and I'm so grateful for that because my dad was so gregarious. So I didn't, because of the COVID thing, I didn't get to be with him. But his was so sudden. He had COVID, but he wasn't suffering with it, and they thought he would. They didn't think that he was going to take a turn for the worse. He wasn't frail, and then all of a sudden he had breathing difficulties. And so my last memory of my dad is, even though I wasn't there, is him fighting for breath. And but I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see his body either. I'm just grateful that he had two of his favourite people with him as he left this earth, if you see what I mean. But as an aside, I've got both my parents' ashes in the cupboard and both my cat's ashes in another cupboard, so they're still here with me.
You've got your parents' ashes in the cupboard?
I've got my parents' ashes, my mum and dad. My dad would have hated having my mum next to it because they got on but they didn't get on. They weren't together. But they're in the cupboard and I can just hear my mum going, "Now bollocks, David," and him going,
"Sorry, I've got sweaty bollocks. I need to scratch them."
On the bollocks, no. Yeah, they're...
Hang on.
Aroma.
Got the mother-in-law sitting on the table just inside the front door.
Oh my God! See, they're not on display. Mine aren't on display. Mine are...
She's not exactly on display because when you open the door, she's behind it. But
she's not a doorstop, is she?
No. It's just the fact that my wife hasn't decided.
Same.
Same.
Her
mum never expressed any preference of. I mean, we have got some in a. You get these little jars.
Yeah.
Which she's got some in, but we've also got the full whole Monty there. And
yeah, no, it was the same with me.
Thank you, Happy Smile Seeker. Go on, carry on. Thank you, Happy Smile Seeker.
My mum didn't give any wishes for her funeral, so I kind of just like blagged through it and did a good job. I think I met whatever wishes she probably would have had. But she gave no instruction before, as to what she wanted. So she ended up in my hall cupboard. And then my dad died at the height of COVID. But because of the way my mum went and didn't tell us, I made sure to get my dad to say. So I know what my dad wants. It's just a case of we've had the COVID thing and I've got to take him up to Yorkshire because that's where he was from. But I'm glad with his funeral was going to be a simple cremation anyway. There wasn't going to be anybody there, and then we were going to have like a little party, playing his music, having a drink for him, and he loved that idea. We talked it over and things. So by default, they're in the cupboard together. So
still arguing.
Yeah, still arguing. I just keep threatening to chuck my mum off of Hastings Pier because she absolutely hated everywhere that she lived. So I'm just like, I'm going to just chuck her off Hastings Pier.
Oh, dear.
Can I change the subject?
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, have either of you guys got any crib sheets?
Yes.
No.
No, Mickey, you need. I've got a crib sheet, right? And here's my one. Look, I've got a list of things that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
You need to get a crib sheet so we can go through them. Just to say hello, Happy Smile Seeker, who's Chico Chut on Twitch. I'm sorry, but Reddit is since Reddit have decided to relegate streaming, it's become so unreliable. It's unbelievable. So which is why I co-stream on Twitch.
Sorry, can I just answer what I was going to answer? Complex Cat on Reddit says, I meant the streamer's husband. She said he was watching. Yeah, my husband is watching. He's not in the same room, but he's watching.
That's on the old stream. We're now on a new stream, Trace.
Oh, you're joking.
If you have a look on the...
I didn't get a ping for it. It's all right.
You did, on the group on Facebook.
Yeah, no, but I didn't. It didn't ping me. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Facebook's not working. There we go. Don't worry. I got it.
I'm showing no viewers on Facebook.
No.
No. I'm
just
picking
saying
up
that
the
the
link.
link was sent to the Facebook group.
What Facebook group?
Ours.
Yeah. Oh.
I posted the new Reddit link in the Facebook group.
Yeah, but yeah.
Just said.
Sorry, I'm confused. Yeah, because I reconnected to Reddit, it gave me a different URL, which is what I said, which is why I posted it in our Facebook chat.
It's not flipping working for me. Hang on. It's just saying we couldn't find any results for that.
Here's the new. Hang on, I'll call it.
No, I've got it. It's worked this time. It. Right, here we go.
Bloody hell, Trace, you haven't.
Do you know? I know the first time I put it in, and here it said, "Oops," blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, and I just did it exactly the same again, and it worked that time. So it can.
Complex Cat on Reddit is referring to Bricktop, who's a character from Snatch, if you've ever seen the film.
I've never seen the film, but I felt a few.
Yeah, I just thought I mentioned that, right? Okay, Tracey, let's since you've got the crib sheet, Tracey, come on, let's have your next item on the crib sheet.
Well, the one that I want to talk about is, and I hope you've got the picture ready to put up, is your mixed grill.
All right. Okay.
I want everybody to see this fainting chip, and I want to ask what the penis-looking thing to the right-hand side was.
Just carry on. I'll call it. I'll find it.
Good evening, Klein. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Klein. 643. So we'll talk about that in a minute then. So I want to say R.I.P. Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, she died this evening, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, most people remember from Greece, but I remember from before that. When she.
I remember her video, Physical. Oh God, I wanked so hard over that at times.
It nearly made me go out and buy one of them suits she was wearing.
They were all the rage, weren't they? It was like the leotard with the tights.
Yeah, but then I thought, well, I've got nothing to fill it out with, so I shan't bother. So.
Yeah, no, she was so many. I was going to say little girls, but adults as well. Idol, because I was about I can't remember when it came out. I was about 6, 7, or 8, and I wanted to be Olivia Newton-John, poured into those black
leather trousers.
Yeah.
I did get a bit of a
with John Travolta. With John Travolta grovelling at her feet. I loved John Travolta then. I was going to marry John Travolta. He was going to grovel at my feet. But yeah, so it was sad. I know that she'd had breast cancer. I think it was breast cancer for a while. But it's always still a shock, a surprise when it actually happens, especially when it's someone who... She never really had any scandals about her or anything like that.
You know, she was actually Australian.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realise that. They think she's American because she spent most of the time in America, but she is actually Australian. And like I say, before Greece, she had several hits in the charts.
I didn't know that at all. But then again, you know, I was, like I said...
But you're a lot younger than me, Trace.
Yeah. I remembered afterwards, Physical and Xanadu. I mean, what a song. Xanadu. But I probably made everybody's...
Can you whistle, Tracy?
No.
Oh, good, because you can't fucking sing.
I bloody hate whistling. You know, when people whistle and it sounds like they're trying to be cheerful. I hate that. So it winds me up. So
look.
There. Now look at that chip on the left-hand side. That is an expired chip. That chip has done a hard day's work.
Hang on. It's not quite in frame in Reddit. So hang on.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Now it's in frame.
Right. That chip on the left has done a hard day's work in the kitchen and has ended up on Steve's plate, going, "I could take no more of this."
At least she's got a bit of black pudding action going on there in the middle.
I have.
I want to know what this sausage is. Is that actually a sausage? Because it just looks like...
It's a Cumberland sausage.
It's not... No, it's not circular.
No, you don't have to be circular. Cumberland sausages can come in all shapes.
Where's the fucking steak on that then, Steve? Or have you ate that? Huh?
Where's the what?
Where's the steak on it?
Steak is... Hang on. No, the steak is there. Yeah, the steak is there somewhere. It's under the bacon. It's between the bacon and the chicken.
Under the bacon.
It's smaller than the black pudding. Oh dear, and how hot the oil for that egg to be so crispy? I've never seen
the way I like my eggs.
Crispy.
That is how I like my eggs, crispy around the edge.
Oh well, you know where to go then for a mixed grill.
I don't even know where it was.
Ashford Harvester, I think it was.
Harvester in Ashford.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck if I'm going that far for a bloody crispy egg.
I enjoyed that meal, you know. I really enjoyed that meal.
The dead chip.
Including the dead chip.
wants a blue pill, doesn't it? Just to catch it up a bit.
Oh dear, I wasn't incontinent before that.
No, Klein. Klein on 643 on Reddit asks, "Is that a full English breakfast?" No, it's what we called, well, what Steve calls a mixed grill. But one of his chips, you call them fries. The chips is a bit sort of wilty on the. I think he needs one of the blue pills just to perk it up.
Doubled over with stomach ache. Oh dear.
And I don't know what your other half is doing in the background there.
What?
Well, look, his other half in the background there. I don't know what she's doing with the knife, unless she's ready to bury it between his shoulder blades.
She had roast chicken.
Stuff.
I give it that though. Harvester do a good roast chicken, and they do, and I like their salad bar and things like that. So, Klein643 on Reddit says black pudding is gross, and I agree. But I do like a white pudding, which isn't quite the same. Well, my husband Andrew, he enjoys black pudding. I love it when I can get a good black pudding from a proper butcher's. Like when we go on holiday, I always make sure that I go to a proper butcher's to get the sausages and things like this for breakfast, and black pudding is part of it.
My friend in Scotland, you know her, Steve Kaz, I got her to send me down some black pudding from up in Scotland, and that was absolutely gorgeous. She sent me 2. I froze one, lasted for ages. Absolutely lovely stuff. Proper stuff. You can't, here in East Anglia, you can't get a decent black pudding, because it's very rare around here that you can get it, actually. Unless it comes with one of your Weatherspoons meals. We'll just chuck it in the microwave and throw it at your meals. But obviously,
and just like that, everyone's a food critic.
When I saw that picture, I seriously, and I said about the fainting chip, the first thing I thought was like, I have to talk about this. Okay. But the thing is, yeah, it's just with the photo, it looked funny. But I bet you enjoyed it, so.
I loved it. It was gorgeous. All right. There were so many calories in that. It was unbelievable. But you know what? I enjoyed it, including the wilted chip. Now, I reckon that wilted chip was wilted because it had just had sex with all the other chips. And that's what it was like. Because that's like me after I've had sex with loads of people. Right? It's just like that.
Well, all the other chips are standing to attack.
Oh, that's actually like me when I think about Apple.
When he says loads of people, he means he changed hands.
or thinking about Apple. But that was a lovely mixed grill. I had mushrooms, tomatoes, peas, which I didn't eat. I gave to my other half. Gammon, beef, chicken, black pudding, sausage, onion rings, and eggs. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Have you eaten half of this before you took the photo? Because I see no gammon. I see no. What was the other thing you said?
The gammon is directly above the black pudding.
That's bacon.
That's gammon.
Oh, that's gammon. All right then.
To the right of that is the chicken, and in between the gammon and the chicken is the beef.
Oh my god! Oh,
that must be the smallest bit of beef I've ever.
It was the angle it was taken at, and I mean I can't go round and retake it again. You know, it's just.
Oh please!
I just enjoyed the meal, all right? I enjoyed that meal, and apart from the peas, I cleaned my plate.
Propaganda on Reddit says, "Good God, the sausage."
Everyone's a food critic, aren't they? Everyone's a food critic.
Oh dear,
Klein643 on Reddit. That mixed grill is a meal ticket for the cardiologist. Absolutely right, but tastes absolutely fantastic.
But I enjoyed it, you know, and I washed it down.
Steve, at the end of the day, as long as you enjoyed it.
I washed it down with a bottomless Coke or bottomless Pepsi. I started with the salad because the harvesters, the unlimited salad where you serve yourself is back because during COVID
they were serving people with the salad, which was a pain in the ass, which made me laugh because you walked up and gave them your plate and then told them what you wanted. Why can't you just help yourself?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand why they did that. I really couldn't. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Right, so have we all finished rating my plate?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Remove the specimen.
Okay. What was next on your list, Tracy?
Oh look, propaganda, smallest bit of beef I've ever seen. That's what you said.
Yeah, propaganda. I get that a lot. People look at me and say that is the smallest meat I've ever seen. I get that a lot.
Dear.
You know, Steve,
I'm hung like a worm.
when he goes swimming, he has to shove a sock down the front of his shorts.
I do.
But doesn't it get a bit soggy and then waterlogged?
Yeah,
I
actually shove.
When I was a kid, I had knitted swim trunks, for Christ's sake.
I actually shove a rolled up sock and 2 ping pong balls down my shorts.
Sorry, say that again.
I actually shove, when I go swimming, as I will be tomorrow, I actually shove a rolled up sock and 2 ping pong balls down my swimming trunks.
So that it looks like you've got piles from the back or something.
So it looks like I've got a decent meat and 2 veg.
Don't tell me you wear Speedos, for Christ's sake.
Oh, I do wear Speedos, actually. I'll be honest, I've got a micro dick. I don't.
Thank you. Even Speedos, 4 kilo.
I used to call him Astro Steve. I'm going to call him Speedo Steve now.
Yeah.
He's got
sometimes I wear a mankini.
Oh no!
I've got a
bright green one
of them. Actually, we bought my son-in-law one for Christmas about 3 or 4 years on the proviso.
You
ran down the street in it on Christmas Day.
You pervert.
And he did. Christmas Day, running down a lime green mankini, running down the road.
I think what we need is a photo.
Good evening, just another guy from Mars, and good evening, Mad Mark. I do know you're there. I do know you're there,
we need a photo of Mickey wearing the mankini so that we can put it up as a holding page for when he goes for a cigarette. So it's his voice.
No, you
don't. No.
Looks like we're losing Twitch again.
Are we?
Looks like it.
Frozen again, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got 3,499 views on that. Look.
3,000.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
If you hover over the left-hand bottom.
Yeah, 3,440 people watching it, and it freezes.
Yeah. Of course.
Unconsole. Oh, there we go. Connection issues. What was it like before automobiles and electric lighting?
Ask Mickey. He lives up north.
Edison was a friend of mine.
Did I just hear Steve say, Mickey, you're from the north?
Yep.
Whereabouts? But you're east, aren't you?
I'm from the east.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Ask him where he comes from.
I come from Worcestershire, which is in the Midlands, actually, just south of Birmingham.
I was going to say.
But he reckons anything north of Watford Gap is north. So.
No, we've lost Reddit again completely.
Oh God, we were doing so well with numbers on there.
Yeah, 3,440. 3,500 actually.
Yeah, exactly. So, can they still post to us, or do you have to restart again?
I've got to restart again. I've got to redo it again. You won't get the same URL. So. Yeah,
keep getting them over here. We've got quite a good number on Twitch at the moment.
Yeah, we certainly have. We've got 8 on Twitch, which is the most I've ever had. Well, I'll keep what we're doing. I'll keep trying to restart.
While you're trying to restart Reddit, the one other thing that I had written was, and this is more of a serious subject. Now, about 2 months ago, I've got 2 daughters. One of my daughters, who hadn't had any children before, had a baby. So he's about 2 months old now. Now, that's not my side of the family, but her other side of the family, her father's side of the family. And I'm sure that they're not watching here, and if they are, then they can take the bloody hint. Her father's side of the family, a couple of them are really like, whenever pictures are posted on Facebook, oh, isn't he lovely? I want photos of him. And they're sending him presents and saying, oh, he's gorgeous and this is lovely. And I want to frame this picture and things like this. There's 2 other there's 2 other children. There's 2 others related to them, to the, the dads. Does that make sense? There's two other children that they're related to. that get ignored. And I'm getting a bit wound up here. Just that's why I'm stuttering on the words. Because I can see it, and I can see them doing it. Now, I've got 3 grandchildren, and I treat them all equally. Obviously, different ages. One's a teenager now, one's sort of mid-child, and obviously there's a baby. And I know people go goo goo gaga over babies, but they didn't do this over the other 2. And it just makes you, and the way that they're acting is like as though the other 2 are forgotten about completely. Like they don't do any, oh, that's great, oh, I'm so proud of him and doing this, you know, the older kids. And yet we've got this over the baby. And I'm wondering if there is a vague bit of racism going on, because the older 2 are brown and the youngest one is white. And it just makes you wonder whether it's just a bit of. Do you see what I mean? What is going on?
Yeah, I think possibly it's what do they call it? Not racism.
Racism. That's what they call it, Mickey. Racism.
You know, unconsciously doing it. Do you know what?
Unconscious bias, but it's racism.
Yeah, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still racism. But
yeah,
I think it's probably is an unconscious bias, but it's still not right.
No,
it's still not right.
No,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I've got 3 grandkids. You love them all the same.
Yeah.
I couldn't care. I couldn't care if 2 of them, 1 of them, all 3 of them were dark skinned. It does not make any difference to me. They are still my grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know, so you treat them exactly as that.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all. I have to say, they're all related in the same way to the grandfather's family. So my ex's family, they're all related in the same way. It's not different mums or dad or anything. They're all exactly the same relation.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious that my daughter, who's got the 2 older kids, is like going, oh, hang on a minute, there's 2 other kids here. And I'm getting wound up about it now. Yeah, go on.
You can understand that, though. You really can.
Yeah. And
excuse me.
You know, it's not. I can't even see what it can be, because they don't really know any of the kids, any of the grandchildren.
No.
They don't know them properly, and you know, if they did know them, they'd know that the middle one loves piano playing and is quite good. He's quite musical and that, and has got a fantastic sense of humour. The older one is now, he loves his computers and his gaming and things like this, and his typical teenager, like 1-word answer, yeah, no, sausage and butter, stuff like that. But I just don't get it, because they didn't do the same thing over.
Yeah, I can understand you getting upset about that.
I
can understand your daughter getting upset about
it. Well, they both are, and it's just
both your daughters are getting upset about it.
Yeah,
I understand that.
It's so noticeable. This is the thing. It's not just like the odd sort of kind of like, you kind of like go, oh, well, maybe it's because he's a baby, but they literally are just going, oh, you know, I've had one of the women on the phone to me saying, oh, I'm so proud of my daughter. I'm so proud of her. She's done so well and everything. It's like, hang on a minute. The other one has just, who's younger and started a bit early. I mean, what's the difference? So we also wondered whether it was because they were attributing my eldest daughter more to their dad, because they always go on about how she looks like her dad. She doesn't. She looks like I did at her age now. Yeah. So I wondered if it was something like that, but it's still, you can't, even if you do feel favouritism, I don't, but I'm just saying, even if there is some kind of favouritism going on, don't make it so damn obvious. You've got to treat everybody the same. Anyway.
Exactly that, yeah.
Anyway, carry on. You can, you know, if you've got any other thoughts. And Steve seems to have finished fiddling, so...
Yeah, I can't get on Reddit, which is a problem. So we've got 11 people watching us on Twitch. So a lot of people have moved over from Reddit. So hello, all of you there on Twitch. Don't be shy. Say something. Just changing the subject. I'm going through my crib sheet, right? The Harvester wasn't the first restaurant we went to, or it was the first restaurant we went to today, yesterday. But I have been other restaurants, and hi, Klein 643. Good to see you there on Reddit, Twitch. I went into a restaurant and I sat down and they passed me the menu and I looked at it and it said including 10% service charge. What the hell is that service charge all about? The only reason I ask is because I tip if I've had good service. What I don't like is I don't like having a compulsory tip forced upon me with this 10% service charge. So I said to I called the waiter over and I said, right, okay. I said, I don't like this service charge. Don't worry. I'll go and get my own food from the kitchen. And he said to me, what? I said, I'll go and get my own food from the kitchen. He said, you can't do that. I said, why not? He said, because we're not allowed. You're not allowed in the kitchen. I said, so hang on. So this service charge, I've got to pay regardless. And he said, well, yeah. I said, no, I want to go and get my own food. I said, I'll go and get my own food. They got really pissy with me. And I thought, that is, I don't like the idea of this 10% service charge on menus, or whatever percentage it was. I walked out of the restaurant in the end. There's no way I'm going to eat in a place that's going to charge me for service, because there is no alternative. You have to have service. They won't let you get your own food. So,
but as far as I can remember, though, you are allowed to line it through and not pay it, and then pay a tip afterwards. Because it always says discretionary, so you should be able to just go, no, I'm not paying that.
Yeah,
but it feels rude, doesn't it? It feels like. But I agree. I want to tip as to what the service that I got. If all they've done is bring me my plate and then take my plate away, they'll get less than if they a nice, polite, nice service, attentive, stuff like that, and then they'll get more. And that sounds terrible, but it's not. It doesn't mean to sound terrible. If they've done their job, then why should I give them loads more money than the person who really does make me feel like I should be there? There's places that you go and they're all like they're not standing over you watching you eat, but they're there making sure that you're fine. Is this okay? Do you want anything else? And everything, and you think, no, I want to tip these people.
Yeah.
But if all they've done is their job, then why should their wage be put onto your bill as a service charge?
Exactly. Can I just staying on the subject? Klein643 says on Twitch with a larger bill, do you have to pay bigger VAT? Yes. That must be hard to calculate beforehand. No. That is very simple. It's 20%, and I mean, if you can't work out 20% of something in your head, then you really need to go back to school. However, the UK.
Having said that, the prices on the menu usually include VAT, so you do know by the end of the evening what you are paying.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
What I don't like is that what you're just talking about is the addition of a 10% service charge.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do it. I'd have been exactly the same as you are.
Yeah.
Pay for service. You tip for service. You don't tip just for using the restaurant.
Well, they wouldn't let me go and get my own food from the kitchen, which I thought was quite disgusting.
I mean, just another guy from Mars says tipping should be an option.
Right.
Paying the workers should be on the onus on the restaurant institution.
Precisely,
which is correct.
Yeah, and tips should be.
Coming back to what Klein. Hang on, we'll come back to what Klein said. Klein, by law in the UK, right? In America, it's a bit different because in America you have to sit there, especially when you go from state to state. It becomes a bit of a nightmare because you've got to work out the price of the goods, then add the sales tax up in your head and go through to pay for it. In the UK, by law, if you're selling retail, the price must include VAT. So whenever you see something on a menu, that is the price including all taxes. So what you see is the price you pay. Business to business sales are a bit different. Then you have to pay extra tax. But retail sales, restaurants, shops, everything else, by law, the price must include all taxes, which is slightly different from America. And I think it's a much better system. Sorry, guys, carry on.
Come on,
Paul Cooper's turned up.
Like a bad penny, isn't he? He's like a cold sore, isn't he? He's like gonorrhea. He things around whenever you don't need it.
But yeah, I see, but that's the other thing as well, is that if it's the service charge, and we think that that's going to be the tip, but how you're basically paying the wages that should be in with the food price anyway, and if it's not in with the food price, if it is in with the food price and this is the tip on top, then how are we guaranteed that they're going to get that? There's no guarantee, like extra, like as a bonus or a commission. And at least I know that if I tip my waiter or waitress or my server or whatever, if I tip them, I know that, well, it's either going to go in their pocket or it's going to go in the group thing where they share it out or whatever. But that's all tax-free. It's a gratuity. I can never say that word. And it's
gratuity.
Yeah, that's it. And it's not going into the boss's pocket first.
And that's why if I pay by debit credit card and it says you can add a tip when you on the machine, I will not do it. I will leave a cash tip.
Same.
I will never ever put it on my debit or credit card.
Same.
You know, because how do I know where that's going?
Yeah, same.
I mean, when my wife works in a cafe, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, and they've got a little jar beside the till.
Yeah.
And then it's on the onus on the customer whether they want to leave something or not. At the end of the week, that gets shared out equally, and I mean equally, amongst all the staff minus the boss, which is the way that it should be done, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
Sandsley, we're actually talking about service charges on just Sandsley's just asked what we're talking about. We're actually talking about service charges on menus in restaurants. That's what the current thing is. Klein, you said, but sales tax is fixed, VAT is variable. Yes, VAT is variable. It's 20% on most things. I think it's 5% on children's clothing and things like baby's milk and things like that. But that doesn't matter because, like I said, the price must include VAT. So whenever you see something, regardless of what the rate of that on that item is, we don't have to work it out because the price is already included. You know, we see it on the shelf.
If it's $19.99 on the shelf, $19.99 is what you pay.
Is what you pay,
not
exactly.
A penny more.
Exactly. So, right, sorry.
Turn me off a minute, please, Steve.
Yeah, I'll certainly turn you off. Think of Hugh Grant naked. No, that's going to turn you on, isn't it?
Exactly.
Boris Johnson naked.
What?
Boris Johnson naked.
Oh,
yeah, Boris Johnson naked. There you go, Boris Johnson naked. Think of yourself in a threesome with Boris Johnson and Donald Trump and
you
pegging.
Have to do some washing.
Did you see, Tracey, did you see what Klein 643 says about restaurants in the USA?
Klein 643 on Twitch says some restaurants in USA put a 20% tip only for an 8 or more people in a party. Now, I can sort of understand a surcharge for larger parties, but it's still taking the P because it really should be up to like as in if it was called.
I'm going to the loo. Be back in a minute,
It's just
Tracey.
me.
Just you, yeah.
If it was called a surcharge for large parties or like groups of people, I can sort of understand that because there's a lot more sort of timing and effort and work that goes into a larger party. But I wouldn't call that I wouldn't call it a tip or a what were we calling it? Bloody hell. The discretionary charge, discretionary service charge. I wouldn't call it that because, like I said, you should as a customer, we should wait till the end of the meal and decide whether our server or servers, did their job properly, and you feel comfortable about the job that they did and everything like this, and then tip them directly. And if there is a surcharge for a larger party, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the service charge. That is basically a surcharge because you've got a larger party. A bit like, you know, like if there's a wedding, you have to put a certain amount of money to you know, towards breakages and things like this. So yeah, I'm not sure that I would agree on a 20% tip only for an 8 or more people in a party. I wouldn't call it a tip. Surcharge maybe.
I can't get on Reddit yet.
Blind 643 again says under 8 people you can beat, and what AH mean? And not an ass, yeah, an asshole and not tip. So I see, yeah.
We're on Reddit. We're back on Reddit.
I think the thing is that in America there's a big culture of tipping, and I know I've had conversations before with people, like as in, if I went to America, I've never been to America, if I went to America, I would be so lost as to how much is polite to tip. Because there might be me thinking $5 is a nice tip, but that might be absolutely insulting to the server, because I think also a lot of serving jobs in America are 0 wage, so basically you earn your tips. Whereas we have minimum wage, so we might be earning £8 or £9 an hour, and then tips are on top of that. So I like how we have it in this country, but I wouldn't have the discretionary surcharge thing going on. So. It'd be worn down to a mushroom if you had that, or it'd be looking like that chip. And then Client 643 says yes, that's why tips are very important in the service industry. Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah. It usually works out when me and Andrew go out to eat. Like if we go to sort of like a nice cafe place, not a greasy spoon, but a nice cafe. Although we have tipped in greasy spoons before, and you don't get many of them these days. But when we've gone to eat at a cafe, it's usually like maybe £1 or £2 that we pop into this sort of tip jar, but we've only spent maybe 15 quid or something.
Are you back now, Mickey? Mickey, are you back? All right.
And but then if we go out somewhere where we spend like 50, 60 quid, then that's going to be a £5. So yeah, it works out to about a 10. But yeah, about 10%. But if there's discretionary service charge on it, I'm sitting there thinking, well, because the way that it works out, and then VAT gets added on, and stuff like that, and it's just, hang on, what? It works out like way too much higher. Good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like I say, I keep asking if I can go and get my own food.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, sorry.
Mickey, are you back? Mickey, are you back?
Yes, you can put me back. Yeah, go on.
Right.
Are we back on Reddit?
We are back.
Yeah, I'll put you. I'll post the link.
Yeah, taking out now.
There. We've got 2 watchers on Reddit.
Oh, it was 3,500.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Justin, on the guy from Mars. It's a scam. It's a complete scam.
Totally a scam, yeah.
Are you doing it again?
Client 643 on Twitch says, do we have American-style diners? Well,
Yes.
We do, yes. But then again, still the same. All prices on the menu.
I've got to follow UK law, yeah.
VAT, it's law. They can't start adding things on after the price that's on the menu.
Can I just pick up on the American style diners thing? The American style diners are more. They're styled as American diners. It's not like we go to like a restaurant and it's set out like that as standard. They're marketed as their American style diners, we like with American style names and food and things like that. But there's still nothing like you see in the films where there's like a lady chewing gum bringing around a coffee pot to top you up.
Do you know where I'd love to go? I don't know if you've seen them. These restaurants that insult you. I'd love to go to one of those.
What a wanker.
You don't even need to leave your home now.
Walk through the door. What the hell are you doing here? I'd love to go with that. No, the portions aren't huge. I mean, Klein643 is on Twitch there. It says, are the portions huge? No. No. I think British portions tend to be about half the size of American portions, but then again, the British population.
And less cheese.
Oh, I love cheese. You can put as much.
Oh, you did. You have no idea with Americans, right? They had cheese with everything, mate. But
is it proper cheddar?
No, it's plastic cheese. They're obsessed with cheese.
I don't want none of that. No.
They are absolutely obsessed with cheese, that country, like you wouldn't believe. They literally have cheese with everything. There's a chain there called IHOP, which basically they made their name on pancakes, right? And I love going to IHOP for breakfast because I know it sounds strange, but pancakes with syrup and bacon really does work. But then they throw cheese on it, and your stuff turns up right. Not only has it got cheese on it, but they've actually got tomato sauce in a squeezy bottle and cheese in a squeezy bottle. You go into seriously. You go into any American supermarket, right? And the biggest counter in an American supermarket is the cheese counter. I am not kidding. They have cheese everywhere. It's like unbelievable. Paul Cooper on Facebook says, "Come and have a drink when I'm working. It's more of a shock if I'm polite." Americans, they don't know what real cheese is. It's all plastic cheese. It's all the cheese is all bright orange. But they have cheese with everything. I'm not kidding. Carry on talking. I'm just trying to find a photograph.
Yeah, this cheese in a tube I can't get. I know we have Primula and stuff like that over here, but I can't for the life of me imagine why you want to squirt cheese out of a tube.
Oh.
I really don't, mate. Nothing like a big block of cheddar, cut a wedge off, bit the old Branston and shove it straight in your mouth. Lovely.
It's usually, if we're talking about the American squeezy cheese, it's so like bright and plastic. It comes out shiny like plastic. It's like melted plastic. Because like you were saying about Primula, it actually looks like cream cheese.
Yes, it does, yeah.
Like Dairyly and that. Whereas the ones that you see like on the internet and on TV and that, and it comes out this like weird plasticky sheen and.
Wow. In fact, they do say that some of that stuff is only one step away from plastic.
Margarine is one.
Yeah.
What margarine's one molecule away from plastic.
Yeah. Blockos World says, "Can you say Sam is hot, please?" I don't know if that's addressed to you, Tracy.
He just did. So
huh?
You just did.
I did.
By saying that, you just did.
I did. I've answered your question. Look, yeah. I don't know who Sam is, whether it's a he, she, or a he, she.
Klein643 says you might have mistaken a stick of butter as cheese. No, because we don't get sticks of butter here. I'll go and get a block of butter in it. We have blocks of 250 grams. And so they're how many grams? Oh, hang on, you don't work in grams, but how much is a stick of butter usually weigh? Is it?
The stick, like you get in these little packets, when you.
No, Americans have sticks.
Oh, about 10 grams normally.
10? No.
Well, when they give it's normally one stick per slice of bread.
No. Americans get sticks of butter, which we have blocks, but they have sticks that are almost like a quarter of.
Oh yes, like the old St. Ivel. Yes, yeah. That's quarter of a pound.
Yeah.
It's 250 grams.
Yeah, so we can't mistake a stick of butter because we don't have sticks of butter, and they generally don't look like cheese. Let me get a block of butter to show you, because I literally got one
While
today.
she's doing that, I'm gonna talk a minute about talking about restaurants. The best dining experience I've ever had, the best restaurant I've ever been in, is not what you'd expect. Let me show you a picture. Can anybody guess where this is?
1970.
No, it's not 1970. It's actually 2012. But can you guess?
I'd say that's in Korea, Steve.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It's in Korea. But do you know what type of restaurant I'm in?
I don't know, but it can't be typical Korean because you're sitting on a chair.
It is typical Korean, actually. It's something you only find.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, not always. Some restaurants are quite bad. Let me give you another clue as to what sort of restaurant I'm in.
Oh, cook your own.
Yeah, you cook your own. It's what's called a barbecue restaurant, all right?
So basically, no chef.
No chef. No, this is you are the chef, right?
So what's that? A hot light above there or something?
No, that's a bowl of charcoal.
Oh right.
Yeah, but what's the silver thing above it?
Chimney.
Oh, it's the chimney. Oh! That's what I was on about. What's that above it? Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me get you the next photograph, and all will become clear. Okay.
Oh, right.
That's a bowl of charcoal in the table. What happens is they come round with a menu with all the different meats on it, and you choose the meat that you want. Then
I'm getting hungry.
They go off and they come back and they put this bowl of charcoal in the middle of the table. Like you can see the guy in the pink shirt there. That in front of him is a bowl of charcoal. Then they pull the chimney down over the charcoal, and you actually sit there and you cook your own food. And it's called a barbecue restaurant. And
we do that on hot slate over here, don't we?
I don't know. I've never been in a place where you cook your own food.
And of course, you need the chimneys because of it being an open barbecue. Otherwise, you'd all die.
Yeah, but it's absolutely the best dining experience I've ever had in Korea. Is cooking my own food. But
we've got a guy on Reddit, Big Challenge 3043, would like to know, what do you guys like for a full English breakfast? Well, me, I like bacon, sausages, fried bread, got to be fried bread, not toast, eggs, mushrooms, and might be a bit controversial, tinned tomatoes and baked beans. Yes. And that is my ideal breakfast.
Yeah. Did you forget the black pudding?
Well, I did forget the black pudding. Sorry, I do apologise. Yes.
I do like fried bread, but fried bread generally doesn't like me.
Yeah, because of the grits.
But I know what. Yeah, I do like fried bread. Tastes so amazing. I managed to eat far too many of them on my wedding day, and yeah, it didn't.
I do eggy bread as well.
Sometimes
instead of having eggs and fried bread, I do what we call eggy bread here. I don't know what everybody else calls it.
Oh, French toast.
Beat up your eggs, dip your bread in it, and fry it.
That's I think Americans would know that as French toast.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
Let me just show this while I've got it. This is a block of butter, and this is literally just milk and salt. I like salted butter. You can get unsalted, but this is literally just milk and salt, and it's very much like your stick of butter. You just open it there, and there we go. So you can't really mistake it for cheese because one, it says butter on it, but cheese doesn't normally come in these peel-off packs. We usually get them in. They're usually quite sealed these days if you get them from the supermarket. So there you go. There's my show and tell.
Hang on, I haven't finished with my Korean adventure. So
I was just trying to bring Reddit back into it while we've still got it.
Yeah, well, look. There's the menu. There's the menu.
Oh. Wow. Was it most? Oh, I can see now. Oh, it's come up. Was it mostly sort of meat, or
it's
were there
all
any?
meat, yeah.
Ah,
And what happens if you want
marinated.
vegetables? Do you not get vegetables or salads? Or...
Yes, you get those. If you look at one of my earlier photographs, you get those on the table. Coming back to what you said about the Koreans being on the floor, this is a traditional Korean meal. That's what you will get served. As you can see, Sean is on the floor, and I'm on the floor the other side. That is a traditional Korean food where you're kneeling on the floor. Those are all your side dishes, but you would get those automatically with the barbecue. So you'd have all those, and plus cooking your meat. Client 643. How do you read the menu? You don't. You point. That's the whole point of it. Because English isn't widely spoken in Korea, especially the part of Korea I'm in. But anyway, that's just letting you know about Korea. So, and
Yeah, sorry, I think you were trying to find that photo, so I talked about the butter. Oh, it wasn't.
yeah,
I was trying to change.
Fine. Carry on.
Yeah, no, I'm done I'm done with the butter for the moment, unless Mickey wants to borrow it for his wife's next washing day.
I've got margarine for that. It's water soluble.
Have you ever seen the Marlon Brando film, A Streetcar Named Desire?
No.
No, but I've heard of what.
Right,
happened.
well, you'll never look at butter the same again. We're back to pegging again, aren't we?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, in those days, this is the 19. I think A Streetcar Named Desire was out in the 1950s. So instead of KY jelly for anal sex, they used butter, and it was related to in the film, but not. They didn't actually come out and say he'd given her one up the bum and used butter as lube. They couldn't say that because it's in the 1950s, but the implication was there.
Klein643 on Twitch says that butter looks good.
20%.
I wonder how much VAT. Klein643 on Twitch says that butter looks good. I wonder how much VAT you paid to the government for it. Well, it was 20%. This was 175, and 20% of that was VAT. So Steve can do the maths.
How much did you pay for the butter?
175. Andrew just said.
What, 175?
Yeah.
34p.
That's bloody cheap.
94p.
34p.
Oh, 34p. Right. There you go. Hey, Klein643 says that's not Streetcar Named Desire. That was a different Brando film. Yes, it wasn't Streetcar Named Desire, and I'm trying to. What was it, Klein643? I got it, but I can't think of it.
I didn't think VAT was charged on butter, as Paul Cooper says, but I thought food was VAT free. But
no, I'm pretty sure food is 20%. It's I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure most things are 20% unless it's books, kids' clothes, and something else. And I can't think of what it is. Oh, like baby milk and things like that. So, but I'm not sure, Paul Cooper, if you know different.
Last Tango in Paris.
That's it.
Last Tango in Paris.
Wiki.
I googled
well done, Wiki Steve. Well done, Wiki Steve.
Yep, I googled it. Last Tango in Paris. Is that charged on butter? Off the top of my head, Paul, I don't know, but I'll Google it and find out. But this is all coming back to what we were saying earlier. It doesn't matter because the price we see is the price we pay.
I've done a quick Google. It says most VAT is 0 rated for VAT, so you don't pay VAT, but for some items are standard rated. This includes catering, alcoholic drinks, confectionery, crisps and savoury snacks, hot food, sports drinks, hot takeaways, ice cream, soft drinks and mineral water.
Oh,
so
zero.
basically your staples are VAT free.
Okay.
According to the government. Now, I mean, you might know something different, Trace. I mean, you know how reliable our government is, or unreliable?
No, exactly. I did genuinely think that most things were 20%, but then there was like variances for different things.
Restaurants must always charge VAT on everything eaten, either on their premises or in communal areas.
Yeah, but if it's a takeaway, they don't have to charge VAT.
Unless it's hot. If it's hot, they do have to charge VAT.
Well, McDonald's shouldn't be charging then, should they?
Hey, and no, Steve, that wasn't Wikipedia. That was HMGov or .gov.uk. So
I'm just looking at what Live Interaction says on Reddit. Live Interaction says my first Brando film was Superman the movie in 1978. I think my first Brando film was there a Brando film called On the Waterfront, or am I thinking that was one of the other films?
that is an old film, On the Waterfront, but I can't remember who was in it.
Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando. That's the first Brando film I ever saw. On the Waterfront. So that was the first one I ever saw.
The first one I can remember being in, I think, was The Godfather, to be fair.
The Godfather, yeah, that was a clever film, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember Brando in Superman.
It was Superman's father.
Not
No,
Christopher Reeve Superman. Christopher Reeve Superman, yeah. Was Superman's father.
Yeah, no. Because I was thinking of Superman, like the man grown up. No. I forgot about the bit where he was the kid and Marlon Brando sends him off. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you're Superman's father.
He was. Thank you, Klein. Yeah.
Shal Platten over on Reddit wants to know, what do you think of today's young people's music?
Shit.
Exactly what it would say, Steve. Yeah.
Sorry.
Mostly shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
There's some breakthrough things that you kind of like go, oh, that's quite nice, but then you never hear it again, and it just gets swallowed by the shit.
I'll tell you how shit it is, right?
Too much auto-tune. I don't like rap.
I'll tell you how shit it is. In 30 years' time, we'll be still singing Beatles songs.
Yeah.
We won't sing anything from this year. It'll be forgotten.
Yeah,
no, I agree. I don't think anything
classic. Fair, I love the 80s. I love the 80s music.
Yes.
I love the 80s music.
70s for me. 70s for me.
Back half of the 70s, Steve. I mean, I was like T-Rex and Slade and Sweet and all that sort of stuff, you know. But then we came up with Romantics. Shiwaddy Waddy. I've seen
Shiwaddy Waddy live.
They're coming down here in a couple of weeks, actually. But there's only one member left, and that's Romeo, which was the coloured guy.
What?
Romeo Challenger, the drummer.
Yeah, he's the only one left, and they're coming down here shortly.
I thought Dave Bartram was still singing. I saw Dave Bartram the other day.
Was you? But he can't sing anymore.
That was. I tell you what, that was the first pop concert. I call it pop, but that was the first pop concert I ever went to. 1977, Hammersmith Palais, Shiwaddy Waddy.
They used to come and play at the pier here.
Yeah.
We had what they called South Pier had Cleopatra was a disco. Talk of the East was upstairs, and we had a lot of groups like that from the 70s and the 80s came and played there. Even the Who played there at one stage.
I saw Shiwaddy Waddy live in the 1996, I think it was, at one of the Butlins weekends that they have.
Paul Cooper, if he's still watching, he does those, Tracy. He does those a lot with Butlins weekends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too. Like biker weekends. Oh, absolutely loved it. What a blast.
They do 80s weekends now. I'd love to go to one of them.
Yeah, I haven't had the urge, if you see what I mean. I just haven't had. I'd like to go
Something you should be telling Andrew, not us.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to like a proper 80s concert where it's actually got the people rather than.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, with the proper people. Here they have once a year they have what they call the. I can't remember now. What it is anyway? It's all 80s groups, but they're all. I can't remember the bloody word.
Tribute bands.
Tribute bands. That's it. And I forget what they call it now. But they have a 2-day festival in the park here. That's normally pretty good. Free to get in, you know.
Yeah. See, when I went to the Butlins bike extravaganza or bike spectacular or something like that it was called. When I went to those, there were some genuine bands and then there were some tribute bands, and they were great. But in the daytime, there was other stuff going on, because it was in the evening. You'd get completely slaughtered and go mad. And there was different bands and things on, and I think there was comedians in somewhere else, but I never went to see those. But then in the daytime, there'd be things like bike shows, not bike shows, like the Daredevil things and stunts and stuff like this. And then there was speedway in one part and things like this. And then of course loads of stands of bike gear and new bikes, and so you get to try all those things. So I loved it. I loved all that stuff at the time. And then, like I said, getting up at midday and staggering out and wondering which bit of grease are you going to eat today? Is it going to be deep fried chicken or deep fried burger? And then, of course, because it was private land, everyone driving around without helmets on, which I would not recommend anyway, because it is dangerous. But it feels so amazing hopping on the bike without sticking a helmet on.
When I first started riding them, it was only a moped right back in the 70s. We didn't have to wear helmets then, and I remember it must have been a couple of days after it came into getting nicked. And the old red book license, still remember, and the old book license that was red, and I got took to court for it and fined. They used to stamp your endorsements in these little red books, which was your driving license, and it cost me £5, which was a lot of money then. It was a week's wages to me, and I got an endorsement. It's the only endorsement I've ever had. And that was for riding without a helmet when I was 16. But there you go. And
on Reddit, Shell Flatten says, "What are the best concerts you've been to?"
Neil Diamond.
Spandau Ballet.
Neil Diamond, Steve, and sorry, Mickey.
Spandau Ballet.
Spandau Ballet.
Neil Diamond, because until you actually, I saw Neil Diamond in the O2 in 2017. You don't realise just how many hits Neil Diamond has actually had. Not just his popular ones like Sweet Caroline, but how many he's actually written for other people. And until you actually see him in concert, you realise what a talent he is. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Neil Diamond, without a doubt, is the best concert I've ever been to. There we go. Sorry, thought I'd mention that.
No, it's good. Because I have got no stories of concerts. I've seen live music. I've gone to live gigs. I've loved doing all stuff like that. Like I did the Butlins weekends, and then there's pubs that I've gone to, well-known pubs that you go and see. But I've not actually ever been to a concert where you buy tickets a year in advance and then go and stand at the back and watch it. I've never ever had that, and I feel like I've missed out on something, but I don't regret it, because I've always loved groups that haven't made it, but they're really good. There was one.
See, now, that's what I like. I like going to your local pub and seeing your local bands giving it a go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're usually really good. And then the jug comes round and you put money in.
What is Lowestoft famous for? The Darkness. They came from here.
Ah.
Yeah, they came from here. That's the only group that came from here that I can name. But there are loads and loads of groups around, and they've got, I'd say, hundreds of followers around here. They'll follow him all around East Anglia, wherever they're playing. People go, and some of them are really good, but it's just so hard to break into the industry these days, I think.
Yeah,
I answered Klein's question, by the way.
What was Klein's question?
He's on Twitch.
What did you drop? You're back in Korea there, are you?
Yeah.
Back in Korea then, was it?
Oh dear. live music. Yeah, so that's. Oh yeah, yes. When I first started going to pubs, the one that I used to go to, actually a couple that I used to go to, generally had you had the unknown bands, but for some reason, they were quite popular with people who were session musicians or who had been in famous bands and stuff like this, and so I got to know a lot of them. So in the end, it really didn't matter if I went to see a big name playing live, because I could see those on the TV, and then I might actually get to meet like the sax player, down the pub, have a conversation with him, and then he gets up and plays with the band that's playing at the time. So yes.
Oops, I'm being moderated on Twitch.
You're being moderated?
Yeah.
I can't see it then.
No.
No, you can't. You can't see it, Mickey. You can't see it. Sorry, you can't. It's been deleted.
Dear, oh dear. So you're allowed to say P and you're allowed to say A, but you're not allowed to say whatever it was that Mickey said?
Begins with a C.
I thought it might be. You can say anything here, but you can't say that.
Must have removed your message. He's shaking his head there. Look.
Oh.
Apparently, it's asking me if I want to ban you.
Why not?
Paul Cooper on Twitch says he won't be here much longer, knackered after moving about a ton of wood, which brings us nicely back to you, Steve.
Paul's on Facebook, not Twitch.
Oh, sorry, Facebook. Yes, yeah.
He's got a log fired. He's got a log fired burner, and he chops the wood up for it. Which is why he got the heart attack last time. So. Yeah. Your mother's crack on Reddit says, "What gets better as you get older?" Pornhub.
Laughing at the name.
Oh dear.
What gets better as you get older?
9643 on Twitch says, "Has winter season started in the UK?"
Oh,
no, in fact, tomorrow we start yet another heat wave. It's going to be a week of 35-degree plus temperatures, so we're looking quite forward. So no, winter season doesn't come. We're still in summer. We've got to autumn to come yet. Winter doesn't start until November, so we're still in summer at the moment. It's what is it? It's 28 here. I don't know what it is outside because I can't see my outside thermometer.
16 here at the minute.
Sorry.
16 degrees outside.
All right, okay.
Yeah, it reckons that it's 20 degrees outside here. Sorry, my light's falling over. It reckons it's 20 degrees out there, outside, and the reason it's falling because I was trying. It's 28 degrees in my flat. So it's 20 degrees outside, 28 degrees in my flat, and I have windows open. So.
Yeah, I've got my windows open. I think it's about 22, 23 here. So that's centigrade, by the way, for you Americans, because we're in the 21st century here. We don't do that Fahrenheit shit. Apart from some really...
Steve, I was taught in Fahrenheit.
Yeah. I bet you, though, Mickey, right, you in school when you were taught in Fahrenheit, right? I bet you when it's hot, you measure it in Fahrenheit. When it's cold, you measure it in centigrade.
You're absolutely right. Actually, now I use centigrade all the time, to be fair.
I do.
It's units of 10, isn't it, really? So.
Well, it's very simple, right? Water freezes. At sea level, water freezes at 0. At sea level, water boils at 100. What is complicated about that? None of this water boils at 275 degrees Fahrenheit or water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, how do you fucking relate that? I mean, what's 0 degrees Fahrenheit? 0 degrees Fahrenheit is actually -6 centigrade. I mean, how does that work? So it's just an absolutely crazy scale, Fahrenheit. So there we go. We won't do that any further. I just do totally centigrade.
In answer to your mother's crack question, what gets better as you get older? Live Interaction 587. This is all on Reddit, by the way. It says memories. Actually, your memories fade as you get older.
Nostalgia gets better then, I guess.
Nostalgia is, yeah.
Maybe that's what they mean.
I'll probably remember stuff from 30 years ago better than I did from last week, to be fair.
And I bet the nostalgia is like rose tinted. You know what I mean? Like at the time it was okay, but now looking back on it, it was absolutely amazing.
But I might sound a bit of a idiot here, but I'd like to go back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, before mobile phones. They are the bane, eh?
Can I just say that I'm gonna? We got 13 minutes left.
Yeah.
Of what?
Yeah.
I'm going to end the stream at midnight.
Oh, okay.
Carry on.
But yeah, mobile phone bane of people's lives. I mean, how rude. I mean, I was in Asda today because I had to go shopping while Donna was at work, and there's people at the checkout, rather than talking to the person that's actually serving them, typing away on their freaking phone. How rude is that? Hey, how rude is that? No manners.
Yeah.
But there we go. But yeah, I'd like to go back to a time before. Although here I am talking on technology. Yeah. Bit of a hypocrite, really.
Yeah, but you're not taking it around with you. That's the thing. That's the
I do have a phone, but I use it for making phone calls or texting the wife.
Yeah, it took me a long time. Now, I've been using computers since 1996, and that's absolutely fine, absolutely great. I'm not a technophobe, and I know what I'm doing. I can service my own computer, and you know, if there's anything like viruses and that, I can sort that out. And I had a mobile phone, which was a phone that you could phone or text.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I got a smartphone, and it took me years to come to terms in my own head to realise that this is just a mobile computer that you can make phone calls on.
Do you know you've got more power in that phone than that they used to send the rocket to the moon?
It took me absolutely ages, because all these things about apps and stuff like this, and apps are just applications. Yeah. I call it an application or a program. On here, it's an app. It took me years just to come to terms with the fact that this is just a damn small computer.
Exactly that.
That I can't see.
It's not an Apple one, is it?
Huh?
It isn't an Apple one. I haven't got spit that way.
No.
And good girl.
Yeah, but it did. It took me a long time to come to terms with that, and a lot of years of my brother saying, "What is the problem? It's just this," and so I still don't particularly like it. What I actually want to do with this is plug in a keyboard and plug in a monitor, and then I can see what the fuck I'm doing.
I don't know if was it the old Blackberries that had a keyboard on the bottom?
It did, and I never had one of those.
No, I never had one either.
By the way, vital Gooper.
We got, again on Twitch, we've got Erica NYC 007 wants to know, what age in your life were you the happiest?
Twitch.
No.
Reddit.
Are you deaf?
You said Twitch.
You said Twitch.
Did I say Twitch?
You did. Yeah. Dyslexia, man.
Whatever. But he's on Reddit anyway. And the question was, what age in your life were you the happiest? Well, not my childhood. Certainly 100% not a happy childhood. But I'd probably think the past 38 years have probably been the happiest. And I mean the whole of that 30. I mean, you have your ups and downs in between. But that's since I met my wife, had my kids, had my family, gave me something to work for. So yeah, past 38 years, I can't actually. So my age, 38 years, I'd be 27, something like that. From 27 to date, it's probably the happiest part of my. Like I said, there's been sad times. You lose people, you know, and but yeah, past 38 years.
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer it so succinctly, because I quite liked my childhood when I was a child. Like, I remember going to nursery in the early years of primary. I quite liked that. but I was, too young to actually sort of like understand whether it was good or bad or whatever. And then thinking about all my life since, let's say, I became a teenager, there was lots of good things happening and lots of bad things happening in conjunction. There's always something mirroring it, so I might be having a really good spell here, but this bit's a bit shit. And so so my most succinct way of being able to put it is most of my life is being okay, happy wise, apart from when I had 3 periods of clinical depression. And so obviously no one's going to be happy then, but they were the toughest ones where I can actually say that nothing seemed good about anything. So the rest of the time that I haven't had those depression spells have been more of an even keel. And I'm actually more of an even keel now. I don't have big highs and big lows. I'm more settled. But yeah, so I can't really say I'm having a sort of generally sort of happy life with a couple of...
I think as you get older, you tend to get more settled as well. I really do. I mean, even 10 years ago, my wife will tell you that I was terrible. But she reckons in the past 10 years or so, I've really chilled and mellowed. And but yeah.
What about you, Steve?
December the 24th, 2012 was the first day of my new happiness. Very specific because that's the day I was told I had cancer. It's going to sound really strange, but when you've been told you've got cancer, an incurable cancer as I've got, it actually becomes very liberating. When you realise how you're going to die, it does several things. One of them is it takes away, by the way, hello Samuel Charwick, by the way, it takes away fear. There's nothing that frightens me anymore. I've lost all of my fears about anything else because once you've been told you've got an incurable disease, you're not frightened of anything else. And I know that sounds really strange, but yeah, since that day, since December 24th, 2012, has been the happiest time of my life because I've got no fears and no worries. There's nothing that anybody or any institution can do to me.
Sorry, Steve. Just to very quickly butt in there. The lady, was it Deborah James, the lady who died of bowel cancer recently?
Yeah, Dame Deborah James.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw something today. I didn't go and read all of it, but the headline was something like that. She spoke or something or other about, obviously before. She had spoken about how when she finally got diagnosed with bowel cancer, it relieved her of the panic disorder that she'd had for 20 years.
Yeah.
And
Exactly,
I don't understand why, because all of a sudden you have a reason to panic and a reason to focus, and you don't have to anymore.
No, nothing frightens you. It's what's the worst that can happen to me? I mean, the other day, I had a situation where I was in my, because my cancer is a blood cancer, I was in my haematologist's offices, and he said, the haematologist said, what would you do if I told you only had 6 months to live? And I said, well, I'd start smoking. They said, why would you do that? And I said, well, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
I don't smoke, by the way. I've given it up. I gave it up 3.5 years ago, and I won't start again. But
funny you saying that. There was my dad. I didn't know this at the time, but since obviously my dad had told
4 minutes, by the way.
Okay. Back in the 70s, my dad gave up smoking, and then there was a time that he'd gone to the doctor for something, and they say that because he'd worked with asbestos when he was in his teens, he probably wouldn't live beyond, I think it was 40 or something. So he started smoking again and lived till he was 79.
Yeah.
So, but he gave up smoking in like the last few years of his life because he had COPD, but nothing to do with the asbestos. So.
Yeah, for me, it's purely financial. I won't start smoking again because I realised how much it cost me. Unbelievable amounts of money. Right. I'm gonna, because you're coming up for midnight now, and I'm coming at the end of my tether. So we've got 3 minutes. So I don't know if you want to take any questions. Samuel Charwick. I've never visited the new website Pen Island. I've no idea what it's about. So
Penisland.
Paul of Mirrors 87 on Reddit says, "I'm so happily excited. I've just proposed my wonderful girlfriend of 5 years, and she said yes. We're looking at this house for sale. It's infested with refugated poglaws. What do you advise?"
I'd advise staying off the mushrooms.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Is it just me that's googling whatever?
No, I'm not.
I'll let you do that, mate.
Okay.
I know you like Wikipedia.
We want Wiki Mickey.
Got Wiki up. We get
Wiki
Wiki up.
Mickey.
No, that doesn't. Google's just come back and said, "Sorry, I don't speak gibberish." It's actually returned a Google whack.
And do you know Pen Island, Steve, is penis land.
Ah, okay. So it's an ID 10T that's telling us that, then, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's an ID 10T error code, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. In case you don't know what a Google whack is, a Google whack is a search that returns no results, and refugated poglaws returned no results. So that is the first Google whack I've had in a long time. So yeah, the answer is I Google whack sounds like something masturbatorial.
I think Tracey got it correct when she said.
Yeah. So yeah.
Stay off the mushrooms.
Watch what mushrooms you're buying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Live Interaction 587 on Reddit. Come back
We'll be back
again.
on Friday. I don't know if Tracey, are you going to be here Friday?
No, not this Friday. There will be a Friday coming up soon that I will be. There may even be two, actually. It just all depends on what's happening in the week. So
there we go.
Right, it's midnight, people. So say your goodbyes. Sorry,
Yeah,
we've been at it.
We're going to go before we turn into pumpkins or whatever it is.
We've been at it for 2 hours and 22 minutes, so it's a long time.
I like.
My wife will be happy with that.
I like the long one.
For 2 hours and 20 minutes.
But guys,
Anyway, people.
You said
like
that
the long
before,
one.
Tracey.
What?
You said that before. You like the long ones.
Right, sorry, Mickey. I butted in on your
No. I was just going to say we'll be back on Friday, Steve and myself. I'll see if he'll have me again after tonight. No, he nearly banned me from Twitch. And until then, stay safe. Keep your loved ones close. See you later.
Right, I'll kill Mickey. So there we go.
Oh, bye, Mickey. You missed grieving for Mickey. And yeah, good night, everyone. Thank you for watching. Visit my link and have a good look. And see you next Monday. But I will be tuning on Friday. Make sure you're good.
That's Tracey and Mickey gone. I'm going to go now, but I'm just going to say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in, people. I'm sorry there's been so many problems on Reddit. At one time, we had over 15,000 watchers, and Reddit decided to kill the transmission. It's dropped the connection 3 times so far this evening. I'm not very happy with Reddit just lately, the way that they mess about like that. So I do apologise like that. As I say to people, we also co-stream on Twitch and YouTube, and the best thing to do is join us on Twitch. And it's every Monday and every Friday at 10:15 UK time, 21:45 UK time, which currently is BST, British Summer Time, which is GMT, Greenwich Mean Time +1, but just 21:45 UK time. Or catch the replays. There'll be a replay on Reddit. There'll be 3 different replays. You can see the VOD video on demand replay on YouTube, or you can see the VOD on Twitch. Because Twitch and YouTube have gone out interrupted, all 2 hours and 22 minutes are there. So when you're there, take and watch it. Anyway, people, thanks for watching. It's been great chatting to you. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great chatting with Mickey and Tracey as well. And I'll see you Friday. So goodbye, everybody. Let's just play my special goodbye thing. And I'll see you on Friday. Right. Is that going out? I'll be with you in a minute, Tracey and Mickey.